Hello and welcome to Ready? And I think there's Pete.
Hey, the weekly
Hello.
jam, Brad.
And I think
We're
so
doing it.
last week, so week 2 of the jam, and last week I think when we played the jam it was muted. No, I was muted. And so I think
I
now
see.
I can say hello. Then I'm still muted. And we'll look at that for next week. So, uh, so we're
Nice.
really excited to share with you where we're at, and man, it's been an action-packed week, hasn't it, Pete?
Yeah, a
Even
lot of stuff going on in the music education world for sure.
yeah,
HSC heating up in New South Wales, and a little thing called the syllabus is in review. A lot of things going on.
amazing. And as we
Yeah.
speak, actually, we probably should. Breaking news: GBLers, Dr. James Henry Byrne Humberstone, as we speak, is at some sort of technology conference in Melbourne. We're going to take you there live as he live blogs today, giving us the latest and greatest information from, is it ISTE, I think, Pete? The International Society of Technology and Education, and
Yes.
they're in Melbourne. So we might, if we can get our feet, we're waiting for the satellite, and if we can get a satellite, we'll go there live to Dr. James Henry Byrne Humberstone, FRSA, who is sometimes vibed out of his brain, sometimes a bit sad, and occasionally completely freaked out by some of the presentations we're hearing today. So then, mostly, you don't know what we've been doing. So today and for the next little while, we just want to spend some time with you, just sharing. You don't even know what's in the gig-based learning community. So we want to talk to you about what that is. And over the next probably month to 6 weeks, as we all learn about what's in the community, a bit less of talking about what's in the community, and introducing some more segments like GBL News, and something that we're quite excited about today. Check this one out. This is pretty cool.
System override.
Thanks, Brad. Thanks, Brad Fuller. So Brad asked me, in addition to the GBL news segment, we'll have a robot roundup. So here it is. I'm deep into AI. I'm not sure if you are, but I thought do two big things. One, share with you some news that's happened in the week regarding AI and music education. Number two, a tech tool that we could all use in our classrooms. So the big thing is that YouTube is partnering with Universal Music Group and kicking off a music AI incubator. This is big news. So the Frank Sinatra estate are in, and also our good friend at And the Writer Is podcast, Ryan Tedder, who is also a key writer in, can't remember the band. We all know it. He'll come back to me. But YouTube's working with 3 principles in the experiment. Number 1 is getting big labels to understand AI is here. Number 2 is get artists paid for using their content. Imagine that. Number 3, maintaining copyright and safety, which is cool. So they're thinking about it, and we can share maybe in the description. We'll share these links to the articles that I've read. But here's one from Universal, just talking about how music has always had to change, has always had to try to keep up and adapt, and this is no different. So let's go. And YouTube's keen on doing that with Universal. And their big thing was to develop some rules of the road. You can see there. that enable us to limit AI's potential downside while promoting its promising upside. And if we strike the right balance, I believe AI will amplify human imagination and enrich musical creativity in extraordinary new ways. I think it's really cool. That's a cool statement. Obviously, this is good marketing, but yay. And then the second one, our principles. So I talked about 3 things I think keeping in mind, and this article outlines those 3 things in greater detail there. Cool. So that's the piece of news. And then the thing I've been using this week is the YouTube Transcript AI Summary Chrome plugin. So when you add it to Chrome, you can just go to any video that you want. So say if you want to summarize a video, then you'll get this AI summary box to the top right, which I can zoom in here. And if I drop down there, I've got a few options. I can send it to ChatGPT. I've been using Claude AI. My father is named Claude. Shout out to funky Claude. And Claude AI is great because you can actually upload 100-page documents. You just need a VPN. So I'm not going to use that now because I don't have my VPN turned on when I'm streaming. But you can just click this button and it'll take you to ChatGPT, and it will just check out the thing. I think I will enter text in 4 parts. Oh, here we go. It's analyzing the video as we speak, Brad.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, so it just punches in essentially all the Chrome plugin does is puts the text in automatically with one button, and then at the end it's going to do the prompt for you saying summarize it, and then TLDR, here it is. Sure, here's a TLDR summary. Cool.
Whoa.
There it is.
Okay.
I tried it on a 30-minute podcast episode in Claude, and that worked really well. So this is actually I don't really use ChatGPT, to be honest, these days, but Claude, shout out. And that was called YouTube Transcript AI Summary. There you go, Brad. There's your robot roundup.
Holy smokes, Pete. Thanks very much for
System override.
Robot Roundup. Nice. Wow. My favorite part there was when you said, and I felt like I keep thinking Canadian Club all the time. I don't really like ChatGPT anymore. Most of the world doesn't know it exists yet, and you're over it. And that's what we're here at GBL to do. We've already done it, and we can tell you about it, or tell you not to do it.
I'm mainly just doing it as a trigger. To trigger people out there. So
yeah, cool. It was great to see some of our gig-based learning community with us there for
Nice.
a time. Let's get on to then what we've been up to. So, do you want to? Have you got a screen share for what you've been up to, or shall I do a screen share for what I've been up to? Perhaps. In brackets, I don't think I'm ready to screen share yet.
yeah, let's just go with it.
Okay.
So you just talk and I'll show you things on my screen. How about that?
Yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah.
Well, we have a newsletter.
Yes.
I don't know if the people would know that we have a newsletter. So, and we have a website. So, what if we went to our website, Pete?
Sure.
So, on our website, it's changed. And so, this whole weekly jam is for our gig-based learning community members to come together. And the idea is it goes from 4 till 5 p.m. If you're in the gig-based learning community, we talk to you on Zoom for the first 15 minutes. And then we do, so that's chatting. Hello, how you going? What's going well? What's not going well? Do you want to talk about it? What might we do about it? And then this half an hour from 4:15 to 4:45 is all designed to, so we'll do some care and share, Pete and I like to call it, where we'll have some segments I'll talk about what I've been blogging about. We'll talk about people's questions. Pete will do his robot roundup, and even stuff like some of the courses that we have. We want to do some real time work where we say, well, here's some of our courses, and here's how we might put it into action. So that gets us to 4:30, 4:45, and then for the last 15 minutes, we'll go back onto Zoom and talk to the people in the gig-based learning community about what just happened as well. Yep. So 15 minutes before for the community to chat over Zoom, 30 minutes of presentation, about 5, and during that time, anybody in the whole world can jump on the YouTube chat and send us texts, and then in the last 5 minutes of our half an hour YouTube presentation, we'll deal with those as well. Then another 15 minutes of chatting with the community. So that's the plan. So
cool. So there's the weekly jam. We're doing the GBL newsletter, like Brad said, and so what we've thought about is just a couple of ways to get to know us, and this is definitely a great way to get to know what Brad's been up to. Brad's been scurrying away for a number of years now, turning his name into having doctor at the front, and this newsletter I'm enjoying lots because I get to have a little piece of Brad's mind as he thinks about the world and what he's thinking about in education. Music education specifically.
And I think the good thing about it is I'm keeping it under 1,000 words, and well, that's it. It's 1,000 words, and you can read it as quickly as you like, or not. So I started off with, and the idea is just as a model for us to take the theory and take our life and put them together. So and also to take popular culture as well. And so I guess my culture, right? So there's things I love, movies, videos, music, etc., that I've spent a lifetime pursuing. And then I'm a musician, and I've read lots of stuff. And I hope all of that comes together and join the dots and talk about, well, what does this mean for music education? So that's why I started with rabbit season, duck season, because it's pretty much where I started watching cartoons on television as a boy. And turns out that I think everything we need to know about music education we can learn from Looney Tunes or Merry Melodies. So that was that one. But something I want to talk about too, really, over the next 9 weeks or so, is just this idea of connecting with our history. And so that's why we started our blog talking about the cats. And so I think next week, Pete, we're going to drop a new blog about jamming with the cats. Pretty excited about it.
Cool.
And over the next year, I think we've got an opportunity. I'm going to share everything I can think about and have been thinking about for the last forever, in a way that's connected to my life, connected to the culture, connected to music education, connected to music, just as a way of encouraging people to think about what you've experienced, what you love, and what you might like to share with your people as well. So hopefully it'll be, I'm finding it, I can't sleep. I'm having the best time. I'm just lying in bed at night, walking around the community going, I think that could be a blog post. And so I've got about 16 years worth of weekly blogs lined up in my mind, which is very uncomfortable. And then, so Pete, it's a Substack website, and Substack does subscription newsletters and all of that. And we've decided to just make it free. And it's all part of the GBL community. But we couldn't help but notice that there's a button that says record. So can you show it? Let's get into the guts and see.
Have you put it in here yet?
Yeah. So on Substack, and this is really cool, right? Because as a university lecturer, I make my students blog, and so
Yeah.
I make my students do podcasts, and so this is just me putting my money where my mouth is, and so it's really quite exciting, I think. So, oh yeah, cool. So that's what the blog looks like. But then Substack said, "Hey, why don't you turn your blog into a podcast?" And I thought, that sounds pretty straightforward. So have we got a spot there? Oh yeah. So I did. So we've got a GBL podcast now, and I've had the best time. It's got so many Brad Easter eggs in there, it's not even funny. Well, actually, hopefully it will be funny. Actually, I find it
And
hilarious. Yeah, how long?
It's 6 minutes, which is kind of neat, actually. Oh, is that because I have it on double speed? I don't know.
No,
No, 6
that's it.
minutes.
Yeah,
It's action-packed 6 minutes, though. Far out.
it's not like
And
me.
it's actually a bit more. So once you hit all the links and stuff, so I guess the best way to interact with it would be read it. I've been into this lately, Brad. I've been hitting play on like
Yeah.
a podcast and then grabbing like the Kindle at the same time. So I've got
Ooh.
Audible and Kindle going on at the same time. So for this, like you'd hit play in, maybe we embed this in the actual blog. Is that the plan? And then
Yeah,
and then
I
you
hope
could just
so.
read the blog and then pause and like go and watch the YouTube video that you talk about or the article that you've referenced or whatever.
Yeah, and ideally it'll be a vodcast as well,
Nice.
because I think if you're talking about popular culture references and stuff, sometimes you need to see it. Well, sometimes
Yeah.
it's cool to see it as well. And yeah, so I think I don't quite understand where Substack's coming from, because I thought I just pressed a button on the blog and it was literally a recording of the blog that was somehow attached to the blog, but I don't understand how that works yet.
Yeah.
Is that
cool.
what you thought would
Well,
happen?
I don't know. This
Yeah.
is what I saw earlier today. So we're working it out, guys. We're working it out. So thanks for all of you out there, Jacos, for being with us today as we're working things out on the ground floor. We've been quite busy with redesigning the website, like Brad was saying, and key to that is just generating some good free stuff for people to interact with. So something that we're really pretty stoked on is this GarageBand for iPad free course, which is used to be paid. Brad, we're a bit crazy, but now it's free. So people used to have to pay a lot of money. Sorry, those people. But now it's free. So that's a good lesson in life. Just wait long enough.
Yeah, but also think about how much value they've had. They've had the skills.
True, they
for
got in
years.
early.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's a good point.
We think for anybody who's interested in what is gig-based learning, I think that GarageBand course, that's a pretty good example of what we're about. And it comes with, perhaps we could have a look at the companion course on Canvas, because I wanted to talk to everybody today that we have a whole school in the cloud. There's this learning management system called Canvas that lots of people use. And so we thought, well, we found out that you can have your own Canvas. It's called Canvas Free for Teachers. And so we got one. And so the back end, so there's kind of two components of our GarageBand course. The first one is the videos where we walk you through stuff. But this is a student-facing Canvas hosting site where we really lay out the gig-based learning approach. So this is the gig. So our idea was rather than teaching students how to use the iPad, or what we often see students mucking around on the iPad, for want of a better word, which we also love. But another thing, so you've got teacher directed, this is how you use the iPad. Teacher not directed, go over there and muck around. And then this other way, the gig-based learning way, which says, well, there's a gig. And so this is classic us. There's the Triple J Hottest 100. But we thought, imagine if you could write, let's face it, you're a school kid. You're not going to get into the Hottest 100. But you might be able to write the 101st best song or hottest song of summer. So that was the idea. And so the gig is write the hottest 101st song. And then we step it out. And so the hottest song of 2020, Pete? Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Heat waves. People will know. It's become a TikTok sensation since then.
So, using principles that we'll talk about over the next, I think we're going to have a course pretty soon called Comprehensive Musicianship. This idea that don't teach them the stuff, teach them the music. And so it's a comprehensive musicianship approach where you go, well, what would we like them to do? We'd like them to be able to manipulate the iPad, and we'd like them to be able to create a dope song. So we find a dope song. And through that, we learn some cool stuff about songwriting, and we learn some cool stuff about using the iPad. And so there it is. So we split it up into 4 sections. And first one, learning how to use the various drum stuff in GarageBand. Get into the groove. Thank you, Madonna. And second one, the baseline. Hopefully here you can see that we try to make everything a bit silly and a bit hooky, except for harmony and melody. Sometimes we run out of ideas.
That's when I come in.
Yep. And then...
Okay. That's a Pete-ism right there. Just call it what it is.
Yep. Come on, Brad, rein it in, mate. 3 out of 4 ain't bad. And then Build a Day Will Come.
I had to keep the leash on.
Yeah, thanks, Pete. So, so there it is. It's a Canvas free course, and I think at the moment that's for community members only. But everybody gets the how-to videos where we walk you through how to make the song. And I think over the next little while, my idea, I think, Pete, we talked about actually making some songs in real time based on those resources to help people get confidence with that.
But I think that's a good point. Like, we've got this community of practice that's free to join. This is where it's actually, oh, hello. Yes, Matt. See? Matt's in. Shout out to Matt. Thanks.
Hey, Matt.
Thanks for joining, brother. And we're live in the weekly jam. This is cool. So you if you're out there, come join. It's free. You get to start to know us by clicking here. We've got some stuff for you just out of the box, including the free courses, which I just referred to. So we've got our Make Hot Hits with GarageBand for iPad and some 101 for GBL as well. And so with the GarageBand stuff, this is all these are live courses that can change and will change. So as we generate and interact, as we generate resources, interact with you, that goes as, it's a bit of a flow-on effect. We can go back and tweak and, for example, make some exemplars for 101st hot hit.
So I think I'm blogging, I'm podcasting, and everybody's welcome to listen to that. Then we want to talk about what I'm blogging and podcasting about and what you're going through every week. An opportunity to come together and go, does anyone know what to do? Or, I know what to do. I just did a thing and it was really cool and I want to share it with the community. And as we go along, we want to offer everybody an opportunity to build GBL. And so we've got lots of ways, because we're in the cloud, right? So rather than being beavering, like I'm beavering, and Pete, we're beavering our brains out. And I'm sure you are too, right? But gee, it's hard to do everything by yourself. So we've got lots of initiatives in the cloud to come. So yeah, sure, talking about how could you, how should you, how would you, but actually then doing the work together. And I'm thinking we've got things like creating GBL unit of work, and we've got like how to do GarageBand and stuff. But that's like courses. I'm talking about once you've done all of that, let's make some stuff together. I'm really quite excited about that. And then let's make GBL together. So I've got over the next month or so, we're going to roll out all of the avenues of inquiry that Pete and I are involved in, like what is music education and how do you talk to people? How do you give feedback? How do you encourage students to give feedback? How do you put people into groups? How do you do HSC? there's just so many things that we've wrestled with for the last forever that we want to bring to the group, but workshop it as well. So it's not like it is at the moment where we talk a lot. The plan is that we actually have this thing called dialogue, where you talk and we talk, but mostly we're listening. And then, get this,
Yeah.
we act. So there's something tangible to come out of it. And we just want to take PD and we want to move forward with PD. Instead of somebody doing courses, sure, there'll be courses, but the courses are just kind of concretions of the discussions we have. And we'll make the courses in response to maybe we make them together, hopefully.
Well, I think come for the courses, stay for the community.
Whoa. Peter Ornstein. So speaking of courses, whoa, we got a banger coming up, like literally. We're just putting the finishing touches to. Have you got that somewhere on your screen, Pete, that we could look at? So
The
EDM bangers for HSC.
man.
So this is
Yep.
this is real
This is-
world, hot off the
This
press.
is in response to Jake Dominy out there, who sent us a
Hello,
message
Jake.
saying, got a friend who has a student who's an EDM producer or thereabouts, and it's like, have you got any ideas? And it's like, well, it turns out we've actually done a course in the past, so we've been beavering away at what that might look like inside our community, and so we've started to put our resources together and create a little course for our community members. So here it is with some nice examples there
Holy moly.
of students inside FL Studio, and then also their score, which they had to produce for HSC. So, you know.
And we had the composer himself, Are You Sure, work with us for an hour, and so we've got three of his bangers, and he walks us through the whole process, and we've got all the resources and everything you need to get somebody who said, I don't know if I'm a musician, but I'd really like to do HSC, and you can, and not only that, you can dominate. So, boy, yes, if the force is with us, watch out for that. They should be ready for the community any day now. And I think too, because it's a community and it's not like we'll just release things in beta and we'll release things as they come rather than wait till we've finished everything. We'll just get it out. We'll give what we've got. And I think then we can make a better product because as anyone who's worked with us knows, we build the thing with the people, for the people, and the whole gig-based learning, it's not like we woke up one morning and knew what to do. We actually woke up one morning and didn't know what to do. And that's why it's so cool, because we worked it out with the kids. So we hope we'll be able to work it out with you as well. So
Cool.
that's
It's
what
been
we've
the
been up
weekly
to.
wrap.
Yeah.
Weekly
so
jam. We're
let's
going to
wrap-
go to our community members now. So if you
Uh,
want to pop across to Zoom, join us there.
Hooray. And can I play the thing?